Welcome to Stoner Watch, and today we're talking about News of the World starring Tom Hanks. And if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can notify for future videos. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, I just got done watching News of the World starring Tom Hanks over on HBO Max, and I gotta say, it was okay. I mean, it's not the worst Tom Hanks movie I ever saw, but it's not the best one I've ever saw either. I mean, if I actually had to rank them with all the other Tom Hanks movies that I've seen over the years, this one's definitely at the bottom of that list, man. I mean, it had a runtime like almost 2 hours, and I think they could have probably chopped off maybe 20, 25 minutes, and it probably would have been a little bit better, a lot less walking. I mean, I thought I was watching Lord of the Rings for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the cinematography for this movie was totally awesome. It looked really authentic and stuff like that, and I thought the story was really interesting for the most part, and considering what Tom Hanks' character was doing at the time when this movie takes place, I thought that was pretty interesting because like this movie takes place shortly after the Civil War, and he goes from town to town reading newspaper from the local counties and whatnot to everybody that pays like a dime to listen to him talk. Now, I thought that was pretty interesting, especially like later in the movie, he goes to that town and that guy wants him to read the news that he wants him to tell everybody, but then he decides while he's up there, he's going to read a different story, and everybody gets interested in that story, and that just makes that guy all pissed off, and then next thing you know, he wants to kill Tom Hanks, and I mean, it just got all crazy. I think the story for this movie was really, really interesting. It's just like the pacing was like really slow. It was, to me, maybe it's just me. I thought the pacing was a little bit slow. I think the gunfights were pretty cool and brutal, but they weren't like hyper violent, so there wasn't like blood splattering everywhere, you know what I mean? Now, I have to say, with this movie, I have seen Tom Hanks in every genre of movie except for a musical, and I don't think that The Thing That You Do counts as a complete musical, even though there was like musically based in that movie, but they weren't breaking in the song for no apparent reason like in a Disney movie, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's done a musical yet. Let me know in the comments down below if I missed it. So I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen Tom Hanks in a musical. I'd like to see that, I guess. It might be kind of funny. So I don't know. News of the World is a 2020 American Western drama film co-written and directed by Paul Greengrass, based on the 2016 novel of the same name by Paulette Giles, starring Tom Hanks and introducing Helena Zengel. The film follows an aging Civil War veteran who must return a young girl who has been taken by the Khoi and raises one of them to her last remaining family. She has lost both her birth and Khoi families. News of the World was released theatrically by Universal Pictures in the United States on December 25th of 2020, and it grossed $12 million. Internationally, the film was released by Netflix in other territories on February 10th of 2021. It received positive reviews from critics who praised Hanks and Zengel's performances as well as the cinematography, musical score, and Greengrass's direction. At the 93rd Academy Awards, the film received nominations for Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Production Design, and Best Sound. Zengel received nominations for Best Supporting Actress at the Golden Globes and Screen Actors Guild Awards. Starring in this movie, we have Tom Hanks, Helena Zengel, Michael Cavito, Fred Heckinger, and Neil Sandilands, just to name a few. Now, currently, News of the World is sitting with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 88% and an audience score of 89%, so the critics and the audience are pretty much on the same page when it comes to how they feel about this movie. Now, it had a budget of $38 million, and it made a total box office domestically of $12.7 million. And internationally, it was released by Netflix, so they didn't really make any money there. So maybe there was like deals from like going from one streaming service to another, because I watched it myself on HBO Max, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's getting praised by the Oscars and the Golden Globes and what have you. It's going to go down as like one of Tom Hanks's great movies, but I still say like the pacing was kind of slow. I mean, maybe it's just me. I mean, I did like it. I thought it was a pretty interesting movie, but man, it just at some points in this movie, it kind of seemed hard to make it all the way through. So it's like, it's just, I don't know what I was expecting, but I mean, I figured it was a kind of like a cowboy movie and had Tom Hanks in it. How bad could it be? I mean, and it was good. For the most part, it was good. It just could have been moved a little bit faster. So I don't know. Have you ever seen News of the World starring Tom Hanks? Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think about this movie? I mean, I don't know, man. Up until this point, I had, Joe and the Volcano was like one of my lowest Tom Hanks movie, and I think this one pretty much took its spot. So, I don't know, man. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.